Alright guys, this is a 2003 Ford E450 with a 7.3 liter turbo diesel by Wheeled Coach, is the coach builder. And I'll give you a walk around on the exterior, and then we'll go inside and I'll show you the back and the cab, and we'll go through the compartments. 2003 is the last year for the 7.3 liter engine. That was the transition year for when they went 7.3 to the 6.0, which is a less popular engine, the 7.3 being the tried and true workhorse of Ford vehicles. So if you can get your hands on one, they're highly sought after. This has 146,000 miles on it. Runs perfectly, transmission smooth, shifts smoothly, doesn't need anything. It has a bunch of great features, and I'll go through and show you all that stuff. It has code 3 LED lights all around, has actually the light bar I believe is a Wheelin low profile LED light bar, and when it gets darker I'll do an additional video tonight so you can see the lights operating and stuff. But I'll start going through the compartments right now. This was the oxygen tank compartment. You could probably put 2 M tanks in here, but it's set up for 1 tank and has the hole. I don't know if you can see, it's kind of dark in there. It has a hole for where the regulator and stuff would be, but they moved it to a different compartment. I'll show you that, because they don't use the fire department this came from doesn't use M tanks. They use, it's like half the size of an M tank, which is a lot more manageable, easier to change the tanks. But if you want to use an M tank, you can just pull the regulator back through and set it up over here. This side compartment here for whatever you like. This has well, I'll show you. It has a whole bunch of it has an air horn and stuff. Backboard compartment, probably a little dark. Let me see if I can open that up a little bit. Little shelf for towels or whatever. There's that compartment. I'll go in the back in a second, finish going through these compartments. Here's another compartment. This one, you can see there's a rack mount in there for SCBA tank. You can remove that and use that compartment for whatever you'd like. This is where they reposition the oxygen tanks. So you can see they use a half-size M tank. It's like the same diameter. I think they call it a 50. And then there's a rack there for portable E tanks that fits in there. The regulator is here, which is awesome, so you don't have to contend with that. This has a really awesome oxygen system. When I go inside, I'll show you. You can see the pressure of the tank here on that regulator, on that gauge, but there's one inside also. And then this is for your jump bags, monitor, whatever. And then there's access, of course, from inside. And then the batteries. So this vehicle has 4 batteries. There's 3 on the side and 1 under the hood. Oh yeah, and well, now the gurney doesn't come with the ambulance, the gurney or the lockdown bars. So I'm listing the ambulance without the gurney, because the gurney, I rent my ambulances for film and TV production, and I rent the gurneys out a lot more than the ambulances. But I mean, if you need a gurney, I mean, I understand if you're adding vehicles to your fleet, you know, if you need a gurney and the ambulance, you need, you know, everything complete, I could sell you a gurney and the lockdown bars. You know, we'd have to negotiate something about that. I'd rather not sell it, but or the lockdown bars. But you know, if you need it, you need it. We can work something out. So this is it has a lot of great features. It has a lot of drawers here. So you see, well, actually, there's some stuff in there still. It's got these drawers. This thing on the bottom isn't a drawer. It's like for restraints or something. There's that. Cabinets. Oh, there's some saline still in there. And then over here is the CPR seat. And then that comes down if you want more shelf space. You can put that down for that. And then there's that shelf space. But let me show you. All right, and then under the CPR seat is more storage. So for pillows or blankets, pretty narrow, pretty thin. So you couldn't put much more than some blankets or something. It has the suction regulator and the suction canister mount. There's also a blood pressure gauge, but the actual cuff is not there. It's an easy thing to put on. The oxygen airflow regulator, that's in here too. So, and it's pretty cool. It's integrated. So what's cool about this is there's your knob for your flow, but this is cool because it's angled. If you've ever worked on an ambulance, most of the flow regulators has the nipple, the Christmas tree, some people call them, where it hangs down. When you connect the tubing, a lot of times, this probably happens once a week, where the ambulance crew, they or the driver, you know, comes around, opens the back door, doesn't know that the attendant hasn't switched over the oxygen mask over to the portable, starts to pull the patient out, and either the patient's face gets yanked off by the oxygen mask, or they break the nipple off. But what's cool about this being at an angle is if that were to happen, it just comes off as the patient comes out. So it's got emergency shut off inside. You don't see that very often in an ambulance. It's pretty cool. I've worked on an ambulance for a long time. I was involved in a pretty bad accident. We were hit in an intersection by a drunk driver late at night, and they did rupture our oxygen system, and it bled out. Luckily there wasn't any flames or fire, otherwise we would have been in big trouble. But had we had something like this, I could have from back here turned off the flow immediately. But so this is a pretty cool feature. You also have the gauge inside, so you can tell you know, what your flow is, how much you have left in the tank. There's also a space for another oxygen regulator, as well as one over on that side in case you do have a patient on the bench seat, and this arm here goes up and down. There's more cabinet space over there, and then under the bench seat, more space for traction, blankets, pillows, whatever. There's a drawer right here, like a narcotics drawer, IV drawer. You're starting a line. That's pretty cool because it's right there. The patient's arm would be right there, so that's a pretty cool feature. And then there's a narcotics. I've got the keys for all of that.